All right. You are all welcome. I could see we have a good number of persons on the call now. Doctor, you are welcome. Uh, Mr. Mamadou, Djigo, you are welcome. This is EDFRICA, and we are on a consultant webinar for the month of November. So my name is Emmanuel Abimbola, and I'm the consultant. I'm the person in charge of consultant partnership and strategic engagement manager. And here on the program today, we are discussing on how to write a winning business proposal. And I have my CEO on the team and other colleagues. Dr. Emmanuel, you are welcome once again. So I would give him opportunity to introduce himself and what EDFRICA does before I'll go ahead to introduce Mr. Mamadou Djigo. But before we continue, I would like all of us to quickly drop on the chat box the introduction. I want us to introduce ourselves, your name, your email address, your phone number, and anything you want us to know about you. Probably your organization where you work, name, email address, phone number, and organization where you work, or anything you want us to know about yourself. Just drop that on the chat box. So, Doctor, over to you, sir.
So, good afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Thank you for being and joining this meeting today. You're welcome to today's webinar. We've been trying to support and help entrepreneurs, consultants, and as many people as possible to help them grow their business. EDFRICA is simply an acronym for Educating and Empowering Entrepreneurs in Africa. And our goal is to let the world know that you as an entrepreneur, you as an individual, you as a consultant, you're someone of tremendous value to be reckoned with. And to do that, we try to, as much as possible, capacity build you to be able to be competitive in the global market. Because you won't be globally competitive if you're not capacity build, if you don't even know what is happening globally, if you don't know how, what, and when to enter the market. And so we try as much as possible to give resources and make resources available to everyone. And that's why we have different thematic project, thematic implementation, and support lines to help you. I'm sure, and I would have expected that you'd have visited edfrica.org, EDFRICA.org, where you must have seen one or two opportunities you can apply for. If you've not done that, this is the right time to just check it out, edfrica.org. It's a media news platform where entrepreneurs can hear about the latest funding opportunities, latest resources, latest acceleration opportunities, latest fellowships, travel. You want to migrate, you want to grow your business. We have the resources page there where you can get a template on business plan writing, where you can get how to pitch your business, and so many information around there. I expect that part of your to-do list every week is to visit that platform and check out the opportunities that you can leverage on. You know, people say that there's no funding, there are no resources in Africa, there are no opportunities in Africa. But unfortunately, it is not that there are no resources and opportunities. Our people are not leveraging on the opportunities, one, or they don't even know about the opportunities. No matter how much you look for a job, no matter how much you look for funding, if you don't even know where to look for, if you don't know about funding or opportunity, you won't even have access to the funding or anything you need to grow your business. And our goal in EDFRICA, one of the main goal of the platform is to make sure that on a daily basis, we pick out the most relevant news and relevant opportunities for your growth and make sure that you are aware of it. So don't forget to do that. Now, one unique selling point that we project is the support to access the opportunity. Like I said, it's one thing to know about the opportunity, it's another thing to apply and be eligible for the opportunity. And so this is done in two ways. Capacity building on a monthly basis with our webinars. Last months, over the months, we've been doing different webinars touching thematic areas. The second is we have a pool of consultants, a pool of support system that are always ready to support you. So you go to the website, open any of the pages, any opportunity, and all you have to do is click on the support. I need support to apply for this opportunity. On the website, you see any opportunity you see there. If you go scroll down, you will see, do you want somebody from EDFRICA to support you in applying for this opportunity so that you have a higher chance of getting the opportunity? And you can always get access to our consultants who are very credible, who have different areas of specialization to help you. Beyond that, we do so many other things to make sure that you as an entrepreneur can grow your business and become better. That said, it's just a general overview of what we do. We have a very capacity strong team that is trying to implement. We also try to support your organization. So in case you're working anywhere and there's a need for um, capacity building of the staffs there in terms of business development and co, we are readily available to support you. As one of the key support system we make available is the webinar. And the fact that you're here today shows that you really, really want to grow your business. And at this point, I'll be handing over to Abimbola to introduce the special friend I have and the intelligent, smart person that will be taking us through the proposal writing. You know that if you don't know how to write proposals, you cannot even win any bid as an entrepreneur, as a consultant. So he'll be telling us what we need to say, how to present, what he has gone through a lot of proposals in his lifetime. I'm sure he has lost count of the number of proposals he has reviewed and also the proposals he has also applied for. He's I'm already doing your work, Abimbola, but let me do it. He he's he asks organization, the Kai Kai, and they will give us in detail what they do, and also EDASI. So he's going to tell us the detail what they do. But interestingly, his organizations have won different bids, different projects they are implementing across Africa. Yes, I mean across Africa, and they also have leverage across Europe to relationship across Europe for entrepreneurs that can help. So he's in the best position to tell you as a reviewer what is expected because he has done multiple reviews of proposals, applications, and all. He's also in the good position to tell you this is how I won the opportunities I won, the bids I've applied for. This is how I bidded for it. These are the things I noticed. This is what I read in the terms of reference or in the call for application or whatever thing. This is what I look out for. The applications I did not apply for, this is why I did not apply for them. Either they are not relevant to me also. So he's going to tell us a lot of things. So he's a very loaded person. And I've related with him for a long while. He's from Senegal, he's a bilingual person, and I'm going to pause there for Abimbola to just read his profile, which is shared on the screen, and get ready for significant value today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. As he has introduced Mr. Mamadou Djigo already, let me just give a brief of the little details we have about him. He's a digital development expert and co-founder of KaiKai, a digital development and ICT 4D consulting firm based in Dakar, Senegal. He's also the co-founder of EDASI and EdTech company. So with a focus on ICT 4D, which the full meaning is Information and Communication Technologies for Development. He has extensive experience in leading digital transformation strategies, project evaluations, and fostering sustainable development initiatives across various African countries through KaiKai. His work includes collaborations and international organizations, private sector actors, and NGOs with a particular emphasis on youth empowerment, entrepreneurship, and inclusive development. Is deeply committed to leveraging digital tools to create meaningful opportunities in Africa. And under his leadership at EDESI, more than 400 young people were trained, achieving a 95% employment rate. He has also led large-scale international projects, collaborating with countries such as Oman, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, and Ethiopia to enhance the digital skills of thousands of individuals. So join me, welcome Mr. Mamadou Djigo as he take us through the webinar this afternoon. Over to you, sir. You're welcome. We appreciate your coming, sir. Please take over, sir.
Thank you. Thank you
A
all.
round of applause for him, please.
Thank you all.
Right.
Thank you for being
take over,
here.
sir.
Thank you.
Yes, I don't know if you hear me well. Let me.
Yes, I can hear you, but you can
Okay.
increase the volume, sir.
Okay, let me. So thank you all for being here. And I'm very happy to be here and share the bit that I have. It is a huge question, how to win bids. And yes, I will be happy to share the experience that I have. So let me share my screen. So the idea, the session, I will have many sections. First of all, I will try just to explain what problems and challenges mainly consultants face when they write proposals, and a kind of solution, not the solution, because there are many of them, but a solution from my perspectives, and how now to go through the solution and do every step of this solution. Yes, and we will try to give as much as possible example, just to show how it would be in a concrete way. So mainly, if we here, for example, here in Senegal, I'm currently even here with an organization called CGD. It is kind of an organization with entrepreneurs here in Senegal. So we are here in an event just to share our experience, our challenges. And the main challenges even that we talk about is the way we have difficulty to understand client requirements, sometimes because there is not a lot of information, sometimes because it is written in a language that we don't master. For example, you can have RFP in French and you are English, so there are a lot of challenges also in this kind of understanding client requirements. Also, we're struggling with the proposal structure and formatting. You will see some people with some proposals. Today they do it like this. Another day it is not consistent. So there is no way that they structure properly how they respond to the RFP, for example, and also the inability to craft compelling narrative. This is something very important. How you make difference between another consultant that write this proposal, knowing that also there are a lot of use of ChatGPT. So and you will see people that have some tools, and even the way you read the proposal, you will identify which is ChatGPT, which is not ChatGPT. So it is very important also to craft this compelling narrative. And the last challenge is the difficulty in terms of pricing proposals competitively. So this is also I will talk about after now how to face those challenges, but mainly is about how to estimate the value of my work. Usually the consultant underestimate their work, so they win the bid, and after finally they don't get, for example, the margin that they were supposed to have, or sometimes they estimate the how can I say the daily rate, and that also it is kind of danger in terms of comparing proposals. For example, if I am the client and I see a proposal with the same quality but yours is very expensive, I will go to the one that is less expensive. So these are the 4 common problems. It's not exhaustive, there are other problems, but these are the 4 main common problems. And one solution, I should not write the solution, but a solution would be the proposal pyramid framework. This is something many of you, maybe you already did it, but maybe you did not know the name, but usually you do your proposal with this structure of proposal pyramid framework. So you will see the first part is the peak. So where you put the recommendation is mainly to state your recommendation or the main point. I will give an example just after. but also you should grab the reader's attention immediately. So you have to show that you have understood what is the requirements, what is the challenges, and in the middle you have the supporting arguments. So you have to some few key arguments that support your recommendation, and also each argument should be concise and easy to understand. It doesn't make sense to put it a lot of text. Just make it very concise and easy to understand. And after now, the base is how now you support the data. So you have to provide some specific data or evidence that strengthen your claims, and also include statistics. So this is mainly the, how can I say, the process you can use. Why used to the proposal pyramid framework? So because it gives clarity, it gives also persuasiveness and efficiency and professionalism. The way you build it, the reader or the client have to see, oh, okay, this guy know very well, understood very well my problematics, and know very well also what I want to build, and know very well also my challenges. And so this is the way you put. So the recommendation is kind of a sentence or paragraph that states, say, okay, this is what I want to do. For example, if you have a bid, a request of proposal saying, okay, a website assessment and strategy development, and usually they give the context. You have to understand the context, and with the context now, say clearly what you want to solve, what you want to do, and this should be very well stated in the. Sometimes you have it in your proposal. People used to have an introduction part, or sometimes context and introduction, but at least. And avoid also to repeat the same, use the same text as it was written in the RFP. So this is something very important. So progressively, I will go step by step and show you how it should be structured in the proposal. So I talked about the way we have this issue of understanding the client's requirements. Yes, someone raised his hand.
Okay, I told you from the beginning you share your screen, but we are no longer seeing the screen again.
Okay. Let me stop and share it again.
It's not from your side. You should be the one to log out and log in again.
I think it is your network. Probably just log out and join the call again. I can see it from here.
Okay. So thank you. Let me do that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So you cannot write a competitive proposal if you don't understand really the client needs. It is very important to see how to decode those needs, and there are many techniques. With the RFP, RFQ is the request for quotation. This one, mainly, they just ask you kind of budget or price. But if you talk about proposals, also, it's very important to understand the background and the context. When I say the background and the context is to go further that what is written in the document, and what the global goals that they have. And also, what are the trends in the industry? For example, if you will see, for example, this last years we talked about mainly about sustainable development. You need to understand what is sustainable development, what are the number of goals, and also some examples. For example, if the RFP talking about I don't know, water or education, just to have also know what are the global context in this side. So this is something very important, and also to clearly identify the specific challenges or issues the client is facing. And I will give you some techniques, and also understand the scope of the work. You have to sometimes in the proposal they give you all the deliverables, the scope, but sometimes also it's just the problem that was stated and what they want to achieve. So those details, you have to understand very well the scope of the work and evaluate the criteria. Usually this is something I systematically do. Is when I see a proposal, I build my checklist. This is always what I do. I build my checklist. For example, I put there the times and deliverables. I put there, for example, all the criteria. For example, if they say the company or the consultant should have I don't know 10 years of experience in this side, I have to check to put all the checklists and see first if I am eligible, because it will be a waste of time to have, and you see how proposals, it take time to write a proposal. You do all the process and after you see that finally you are not eligible because of the yearly for example type of market that you have, in terms of teams, in terms of, so all these things is very important to have this how can I say, checklist, and the timeline and deliverables, and see if it is feasible, if the timeline that were given, for example, is something feasible. For example, first, if they give you a proposal to be submitted for, and you see it is in 2 days, and technically you cannot submit something very strong in terms of quality, I prefer not to go there, because what is important also is your credibility. If you submit a proposal that is not, in terms of quality, very good, yes, I remember, if I am the client, next time if you submit, I will remember, this guy was the one who submitted this proposal that was not challenged, that was not very good in terms of quality. So make sure that your proposal, you have time to do a good proposal, but also it is feasible in terms of execution. For example, if someone say we want to build a platform that do this in 1 month, and you see in terms of price, in terms of number of human resources, it is impossible, it's better to not respond. Sometimes a no can save better than a yes. You have to learn to say no to some opportunities, and all RFP are not good opportunities. And after also the budgetary constraints, you have to evaluate the available budget and identify the potential cost-saving measures. These aspects, when you, for example, if you see in the proposal that you can use some innovative process, some innovative technologies that will help you to save a lot of time and money, but that will make your proposal very competitive because it will be cheaper than another one. So these are the main, how can I say, techniques that you can use, that you have to take in consideration when you how can I say, read the RFP. For example, some tips to identify the client's pain points and priorities. You can do interviews. Sometimes when you have a proposal, they give you also some background documents, sometimes not. Sometimes also you have the opportunity to ask a question as much as possible first, so that you can get information, you can have clarification, and also try as much as possible to see if in the website of the client you see as a project that they did in the same work packages, so that you can see in terms of coherency your proposal and with the global project that the client have. You can have also read the reports that they submit in their website. For example, what I used to do, lastly, we had a bid for World Bank. We don't have yet the response, but what we did, we went to the World Bank website and see in this area of this project all the reports that they have built, so that we can use those statistics also to, as I was saying earlier, the supporting data in the pyramid. So it is very important also having reliable and how can I say, good data to support your argument. You have also to observe also all the strategic plan that they have. All these things is part of the client's needs assessment. And sometimes also some clients just organize a call to give bigger information in the request of proposal. So make sure you participate to this call, take notes, do a summary meeting, and if you have follow-up questions, send an email. So this is something very important in terms of process. So I started talk about here. So the client need assessment. These are the main techniques that you can use. So review the past project. This is something I forgot to talk about earlier, and performance data. You can conduct also research on the client industry and specific challenges. As I say, for example, if it is we talk about sustainable development, the goal 11, just to see in the goal 11 what has been done in the area where the project will be executed. If you have similar project that was, for example, for another client, if it is a donor, if for example it is GIZ doing a project in Nigeria in the area of waste, see if there is another donor that have this similar project. Sometimes they have similar project. I don't know why they don't just talk each other to coordinate, but this is another problem. And see what was the main challenges, also what was the main results, and in the report what was the key lessons, so that you can anticipate. This is something also very important to the end. As I said, clarifying questions to gain deeper understanding. Do not hesitate to ask questions. If you know someone also working there, yes, you can informally just ask for questions, saying, okay, this is why it is important for this project. Did you have a similar project in another country? What was the main result? Do you have any report that you can share with us? Me, I ask all questions until they say me, no, we cannot share this information. Yes, all information that I can get, I will try to get it, and to have deeper and make my proposal different from the others. As I said, yes, I am part sometimes in a project where I read proposals, and you see a lot of chat GPT. Sometimes even the first sentence is, you can suggest this response, and after the last paragraph saying, do you want me to give you an example, and people forget just to remove that. So so it is very important. You can use the tools. It's good because they are here to be used, but also proposal also, it is a human centered approach. You have to make sure you understand very well the client, but also the final target. If the final target is about farmers, to understand also what has been done for the farmers, what was the main challenges. You have to take into consideration all those aspects and look the proposal at 360 degrees, and not just technically or strategically. And the other challenge I was talking about, say, how we can make difference between proposals, knowing that people using a lot of tools, people sometimes use some proposal they did in another context and just change some words and readapt. So it is very important also to have something that make difference from the others. So there are many techniques, but the art of storytelling. Storytelling, we talk about it more when you do pitches, or when you want also to yes, to give a story. This is the main thing. And it is very important to use a captivating statistics. I give you an example. If the proposal talk about waste, or I don't know, education, yes, give me an education. Education, and you have to build a platform or any other evaluation or study for that. It is very good also to, in the statement, in the recommendation, just to give this kind of statistic that, or question, saying, okay, do you know that 65% of young people in Africa has not this kind of skills, or something like that. So something that is related to the topic that you want to solve, and that resonate to the client challenges. This is something very important. You have also to focus on the client needs. That's why I insist a lot in terms of understand the client needs. You have to outline the problem, not as it was stated in the RFP, because usually if I am GIZ or the World Bank, I give a large context. I give you what I want to achieve, sometimes how I want to be achieved, and you have to give your personal observation, your personal understanding of the problem, and sometimes to reformulate it to show that you understand deeply what the client want to solve, and also give at the how can I say, at first stage, what benefit this your approach or your methodology or your solution or your idea will have as benefits for the client. This is something very important. For example, if it is about access to education, and for you have a solution, a platform, or you have an approach that have worked in a past project, or that worked in another country, but it's not your solution, you can give those approach and say exactly what was the impact for the client. And also you have to use simple and clear language. So avoid some higher technical terms, because sometimes the people that are reading your proposal have not this huge technical skills, and ensure your story is easy to understand and relatable. I try always to make my sentences very simple, not so long. If in a sentence I have 2-3 ideas, I prefer to break it and 3 sentences. So make it very simple, so that it's not so long, but also is not too short, but make it very concise and give the right information you want to give. And at the end also, you have to call a call to action. So you have to encourage the client to take the next step by emphasizing the value of the impact of your proposal. For example, saying at the end, I would be happy, or I would be excited to give this or to deliver these services to these people, and that will help. Yes, I'm available. If you have any question, we can have a call next week. Yes, make sure that you put also you can do it also in the email when you submit your proposal. You can also do it in the technical proposal. And for example, in this part, if I give you an example of for the art of storytelling, if I give the example, a non-profit organization that is seeking a partner to design a digital platform for managing volunteer recruitment and engagement. What I say the compelling hook is, you can start with, imagine a world where every volunteer opportunity is seamlessly matched with passionate individuals, creating a ripple effect of positive change. Currently, organizations like yours face challenges in reaching and retaining volunteers effectively. This, you can add it, for example, in the context, or also when you introduce your methodology and approach. So the most important thing is not should it be into introduction, but at the beginning of your proposal, the client have to understand you get the point, what they want to solve. So this is, for example, a kind of example, and also the client's needs. You have to make sure also the solution that you give highlight the benefit and what the platform, for example, or what the solution or what the approach will give as benefit to the clients. You can use as a statistic, for example, of a former client with your approach has increased 30%. This indicator, you have to give it. So to give this kind of statistics and make sure that the clients understand that you get the point and what are the benefits for him to have your solution or your approach or your idea. And also, it is very important when you do how can I say, a proposal, use the client's terminology. If the clients say sustainable goals in all the documents, try not to change it saying, okay, goals of the sustainability, use sustainable goals. Because sometimes some clients, they have terminology that are very well defined. Use the one that they use so that it is clear. The main objective is to avoid ambiguity. Yes, so this is something very important to collect all the main terminologies. You will find in any proposal. If someone is talking about education, you will see terminology in terms of soft skills, hard skills. Use soft skills, hard skills. Use it like it is written, not feature skills, even it is sometimes same thing, but use the terminology that the client use. So now how you can structure the proposal. I'm trying to go fast as it's late. First of all, the executive summary. You have to write the concise and impactful overview. So this overview gives a kind of how you understand the how can I say, the RFP, and you have to clearly articulate the client challenge in the problem statement. So this is a problem, this is the global context, this is the problem, and this is what I propose our solution. So it is your approach, your methodology, your deliverables, or your solutions. So this is a proposed solution. So first of all, executive summary, the problem statement, the proposed solution, and after the budget and timeline. Sometimes, for example, sometimes I put only the timeline and the budget at the end, because sometimes I want the client to read all the document before reaching the budget. Yes, sometimes I separate it. But the timeline saying, okay, this is the solution, this is the deliverables, this I will do it in 1 week, it starts at month 0 for 2 weeks, and so on. And after the evaluation criteria, you have to address each criterion directly and persuasively. For example, if in the criteria they said you have to have a market in the last 3 years of I don't know, $50K, make sure in your references you put those markets. Yes, so that give your proposal very strong. And the team qualification, this is very important also. The expertise of your team, the experience. Try as much as possible to put experience and projects that are related to the problem that you want to solve. So if it is question and you have worked in 100 projects, you don't have to pick all 100 projects. That's why I was talking about being concise. If in the 100 project, there's only 3 projects that are related to this proposal, pick only these 3 projects. It is very important, because otherwise you will put other projects that are not challenging to this to the proposal, and the client may forget even the first line of the relevant project you have put. So make sure all the projects you put in the proposal are very relevant. So this is something also I recommend a lot for the proposals. And now, how to organize it, how to design it, how to make your proposal stand out. I like visuals. You see it in my in my slides. I always put visuals in my proposal. Sometimes it helps you to avoid 2-3 paragraphs in terms of sentences. I use visuals to enhance understanding and engagement. I use visual also to create some professional looking documents. And try as much as possible to have templates for everyone in my company. We have a template, how should be the proposals for the quotations. Also, we have all that templates, so it gives consistency, and also the design principle to create visually appealing proposals. So try to make it as nice as possible, and also use some designs also that encourage the client to read completely the proposals. Yes, and also avoid to put a lot of design. It is question of balance. Not try to not just give one visuals, but try also to not put a lot of visuals. Yes, be very balanced. For example, timelines, it can be visuals. In terms of methodology, for example, if you have a theory of change, you can use visuals for that. So yes, there are some key points that you can use visual that explain better what you want to solve. And the proofreading and editing, it is very important to be meticulous in terms of proofreading and editing. This is something I always insist. For example, you can give another person that can read. Sometimes there are some mistakes, you don't pay attention, and after you submit, you say, oh, wow, I forgot to do this. So always have cross reading and cross review in your team. If you are only one consultant, just give you someone you know that you trust. He can just read and see if there are any mistakes. And also there are a lot of tips to catch errors in improving clarity. Some tips if you use some Google Docs or Microsoft Word, you can activate also the error detecting. You can use AI tools to just also correct those errors. You can also, how can I say, use how can I say it? Yes, the cross reading, I talked about it. And lastly, read twice and try to finish your proposals. If it is, for example, on 12th of November, try to finish it 2 to 3 days before, because sometimes what we notice, sometimes someone has finished all the documents, but it was in a rush and submit all documents and forgot one. And after, at the moment that he want to submit the last document, it is too late. Or even I can interpret it as something, it is not someone who is not rigorous because forgot to submit a document that was required. So this is very important also. So as I said, all the editing tools and technique to enhance the quality, some AI tools. Also, there are some plugins that you can add in your Google Docs or in Microsoft. And there are some, yes, in terms of reading tools, there are a lot of them in online that you can use easily and for free. Now, the pricing, yes, this is one of the main issue also that consultants have is pricing. How they identify the direct and indirect cost. This is something, yes, mainly consultants that have no experience facing. The direct cost, for example, is about the salaries, the wage of team members, also the materials or equipment, especially that are required for the deliverables. For example, if the project is about a study or that require data collection, you may use, for example, some tools to collect data, all those, and also the one if you have to also go in the place because the targeted users are not online. For example, farmers, they cannot use some online, and you have to how can I hire some people to go in place just to get information to collect data. All those actions you have to estimate them and integrate it in the budget, because usually if you don't, if you forget it, yes, it is signed in the contract, and after you cannot come back say, finally I forgot this, it cost $10,000 yes, the client say, oh, it's fine, we signed for 100,000, I cannot add any more dollars. Sometimes they accept to do amendments in the contract if there's other needs that you see, or if you together you saw that there's something that you did not take into consideration that might to be added in the contract. But usually make sure that you have integrated all the costs, so the direct costs and the indirect costs. And also, as I say, know as much as possible your daily rate. It is very, sometimes it can be obvious, but it's not obvious for all consultants, knowing what are the cost of a day of work. Some of them underestimated and others just overestimated. So the indirect, so you have to take into account all your teams, all the equipments, all the software that you need to integrate. If there are also some travels, how can I say, the train tickets or the flights, all this, make sure that you have integrated all the costs. This is very important. And develop a realistic pricing. I know that you have to add your margin. You have also, usually, for example, what is recommended is adding 20 to 25% in terms of margin. So this is something that you can add. You can have a margin that is higher if, for example, the resource that you are using also is not so expensive, depending of the market. You can have it, for example, for market where, for example, you are based in Nigeria, where the deal rate is higher. For example, I don't know, at the market, maybe it's Sierra Leone, I don't know. So you can add margin if you find an expert in Sierra Leone, but also you have to take into consideration also the taxes you have to pay if you do transfer from your country in another country. So all these things, make sure to take into consideration. And now, in terms of pricing strategies, you have the value-based, how can I say, pricing. So it is based on the perceived value to the customer, and also you can use it as for products, for services, and that you can measure and do this value-based pricing. You have also the cost-based pricing that is calculated by adding a markup to the total cost of the production. Yes, and it is risky also, because you can under-evaluate the product if the market is competitive. You have also the time and materials pricing. So all charge that are based on the time and material used to complete a project, that I was saying about. If you have tools, materials, you have to do, for example, a workshop, all the papers, all these things, you have to make sure to integrate it. You have also the fixed fee pricing. It is a kind of a set price that is agreed upon regardless of the time of resources required. For example, someone say, okay, as in this project, you will use, you will do a lot of workshop. Yes, we have a room that we will have for all the workshop of the year, and it is fixed. This is something also that you may have. Now, for the submission, I'm trying to look to the time, yes. For the submission, you ensure the delivery, but also maintain engagement. This is, you have to make sure you have meet all the submission guidelines and deadlines. Carefully review and follow all instructions provided in the request for proposal. I give an example. I had a bad experience for proposal, because in the proposal they say all the proposals should be sent to this email, and I added an email in CC of the person that were responding to our questions, and I added in CC. Yes, yes, they even did not read my proposal. They just say, okay, you did not meet the requirements because we said only this email. Yes, it is something very strange, but sometimes small mistakes can just ruin all your work you did. And ensure the submission is complete. When I say complete, is all the documents. For example, you submit all and you forgot the CVs of your experts. Yes, this is something also for some clients, it is mandatory and they can just eliminate your proposal. So yes, make sure also to take into consideration the time zone. This is also some mistakes some consultant may have. A proposal of UNDP with the time zone in New York, saying, okay, the proposal should be, the deadline is 12 p.m. And you don't pay attention, for you it's 12 p.m. of your time. Yes, and all these things, make sure, yes, to that's why I always have this checklist at the beginning, to list all the things that I have to do. And if I use if you use Asana, for example, or another project, create all the tasks that are related to all the process to respond to the RFP. And you have to use secure and reliable methods for submission. When I say digital platforms, for example, I give you, if you have a company and you use a host that give you, for example, a platform for emailing, but this platform is, yes, have a lot of issues in terms of security, in terms of even to send a document if the size is important. Yes, make sure that your proposal don't go to spam of the clients. If you know your domain that you are using, for example, in the past has been detected as spam, use a right email. Yes, make sure that all the process you give your 100% change that your document has been submitted, and confirm receipt for your proposal with the client. Sometimes it's automatic, but sometimes the client then don't give a response. Just send a follow-up message, ask for if they have received. If they receive, okay, you do your follow-up. And in terms of follow-up, send a thank you note or email, the opportunity, give gratitude, express gratitude for the opportunity to submit your proposal, and also give enthusiasm, saying, okay, we share this proposal and thank you for this opportunity, and we are happy that give that you are enthusiastic to work in this project. And schedule follow-up call or meeting if possible. There are in some cases it is possible for them saying, okay, I submit, but if you have any case, any need, I am available next week from this hour to this hour. If you have any question, I am available. It's also give to the client, okay, this guy give me this proposal, also put himself very ready if you have any question. And also respond promptly to question or request for clarification. For example, if they just send you a message, sorry, Adewale, we received your proposal. I just wanted to be clear. Did you integrate the taxes or not? If you take two days to respond, it is a bad sign. It's given that you don't master very well all the items in your proposal, and maintain a professional and courteous tone to build trust. So in terms of conclusion and takeaways, the key takeaways, you have to understand your audience. I started again, understand it. There are many approaches, interviews, questions, read the documents, go also ask for reports, see in the website if there are any reports, any study. So understand your audience. And also clear objective matter. You have to define clear goals for your proposal to maintain focus and alignment. And also the compelling presentation. You have to structure your proposal to highlight value and differentiate your solution, and the effective pricing strategies. Choose a pricing model. Usually is a daily rate. For example, you estimate by days, how many days this will need, 10 days. And for me, for example, my daily rate is, I don't know, X hundred of dollars or euros or naira. And you have something very concise on that. And adherence to guidelines. Strictly follow submission requirements. If there's something that is not clear or you have that, just ask a question. This is something it is very frustrating. You do 2 weeks of work and after your proposal is rejected because you did not meet a guideline. Professional follow-up. Maintain communication to show commitment and responsiveness, and continuous improvement. Learn from feedback to refine your proposal. Always ask for feedback. Always. If you lose the bid, ask the reason why you lose it. It was a question of budget. Was it a question of methodology? Was it a question of approach? Was it a question of the teams? Always ask. Also, if you win, ask also what make you win. If they don't give you, so that you can understand what to improve in your side. And confidence is key. I will finish on that. You have to present your ideas with confidence to build trust and credibility. And if you want to be confident in something, you have to have reliable data. You have to have experiences. You have also maybe to build on the results that you have in the past. Yes, confidence. And in the reading, we should feel this confident in the approach. So I don't know. I wanted to give you just. I know that we have. Yes, I have already done. No, not yet 1 hour. But if I have a few minutes, just give you an example of, and I will ask you some questions. I don't know if you still see my screen. I will zoom a bit.
Yes, you can
Okay.
see us.
Okay. So I try to just imagine a request for proposal. I will share it with you, Emmanuel, this document. So the client is called Green Future Initiative and Website Assessment and Strategy Development. And what they give here, they give an introduction. The Green Future Initiative is a non-profit. So, and from them, the objective here is their objective, what they want to solve. They have given also the scope of work and the timeline. This is sometimes you will find this kind of proposal with donors. They give you the timeline, they give you the different phases, they give you the milestones, and they ask you your methodology and also the budget and how you can solve this. And for example, the submission requirements, the company information, proposal approach. So all these things, you have to read it, and evaluation criteria and the submission details. So here, and after you have the contact information. So suppose now you have this request for proposal that have been shared in the EDFRICA platform for all the consultants. When you receive it at the first, what would be the first action that you will do if you have this this proposal? If I have a volunteer, just can raise his hand. What would be the first action? Yes, Ikechuku.
Yeah, I think the first action is to study the proposal, to have a better understanding of the requirements. Then I can go to the company's website to see if they've done something around that. Then also check some of the staff that work there or areas I can get better or more information about the proposal. Then I can also search, depending if it's an NGO, other works that have been done in that particular sector or field. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. First, good points. Any other? Yeah, Samuel. Yeah, I think you can.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. From my own section, I believe that I will follow up with what he has said. Then, in addition, you need to also see the experience needed if you measure up to the experience. Because if you don't measure up to the experience, if you write all the proposal and the experience is not measured, you might lose it. So you have to measure the experience. You have to look at the team that you have on board. If also the team also equally measure to the kind of team that they will want to work with. So those are some of the points. Sir.
Okay, great. And for example, for you, if you see this document and you see the phases, the duration, if you see, for example, as a consultant saying, this website audit stakeholder engagement in 3 weeks is not feasible, do you think that you can challenge it in your proposal and give explanation why it cannot be in 3 weeks? Or because the timeline of this, the client say it is 9 weeks of contract signing. Can you challenge this? Just I ask a question from if you can challenge it and how you can proceed. Yes.
Yes, it's possible to challenge it because I've seen in a situation where a company, they were looking for a consultant to do baseline for them, but they didn't have much information about what they want to do. So it's good as an expert in that field to also guide the person that sent out the proposal. But the choice of word matters so that the person won't sound arrogant. You know, yeah.
Yes, Samuel, you want to add something?
Yes, I want to share my own experience, which happened around August this year. So I have a client who is into a poultry farming, and they needed a website. So he said he gave me the description of how the website should look like and everything, and he wants it within 3 weeks. And I explained to him that to get some of this detailed in your website, it cannot be possible within 3 weeks. And I broke every steps down for him. And later he understood that he thought that just everything is just plug and play. I said there are few that are plug and play, but for the exact description that you are giving me, you have to go to first step, second step, third step, and so on and so forth. And he agreed, and that's why we are able to proceed.
Sometimes before you challenge the deadlines or the timeline, ask question also to the client. For example, you may have some donors, they give this timeline because there is another project that starts at the end of this project. So it is very tight. They prefer you to give a more expensive proposal than to move the timeline. Sometimes also you have the opportunity to move the timeline and make your proposal less expensive. So you have to ask, is it flexible in terms of how can I say, in terms of timeline? Instead of 2 months, are they flexible to have 2 months and a half? So something like that. Some of them will say you, yes, give us the right reason. Some of them will say you just write your proposal, we will see. And some of them will say, okay, but we cannot move the deadline. And there, so that you can make, okay, after we cannot move the deadline, let me add more experts. And so that you have to explain in your technical proposal, saying why you think that it's not feasible. Sometimes it is technically. For example, saying if you want to build something qualitative, we cannot do this study in 1 week. We need 2 weeks because we need to build the data collect solution. We need to design all the questions. We need to collect all the data to analyze them. So all these things, saying what is the benefit having it 1 week more instead of just 2 weeks. So if you try to explain it, this is something that is acceptable for the client. But it is very, yes, it is something very depending of the client. So that's why it's very important when the client give the opportunity to have a call with all the bidders, ask the question, say, okay, for the timeline, and ask all the questions that you may need, so that, yes, you are not, because some client, if you don't ask, you say, okay, 2 weeks, but I will do it in 3 weeks. You may be excluded because, yes, it was something very important for the client to do it in 2 weeks. So this is so that if it is not flexible, you have to find other some time to say no. You don't do a proposal. It is not a market for you. So that's why all proposals are not for us not to be responded. And sometimes you say, okay, as the timeline is very short, I may need other experts or someone who has a lot of knowledge on that, but which will be more expensive. My proposal will be a bit more expensive, but at least we will meet the time. So this is the balance that you have to find, and that's why it's very important at the beginning to get information from the client. Okay, I have a question in the chat. Please, if a person doesn't have enough experience but interested in the call of proposal, what should one do? Okay, we have this kind of case, even not a person but in company. For example, we had a market a proposal saying the company should have I think 6 years of experience. And six years of experience, and for example, my Kai is 4 years. Even me and my co-founder, we are 16 years of experience, but our company did not have, in terms of entity, enough experience. So what we do is consortium. If you don't have experience, also you can find another consultant that have more experience, and you associate and you respond together. He can be the team lead, and you also as a project manager in this project. So it's very important also. Yes, the slide will be shared. It's very important also to make sure that you have the right person. It's very important. The right person, sometimes to be the team lead. Sometimes it's not question of experience. Sometimes it's question of budget. There was some a big project, so we wanted to do proposal, and the proposal was saying we have to have in the last 3 years a market of 1 million euros. We did not have any market of 1 million. So, and we had to find other companies that have this kind of experience, and we do a consortium. And this is something also you can do as consultant. You just respond together and share the roles, and also share how can I say, you will share the how can I say, the money in terms of margins. So all these things you have to discuss, but it's very important. But you have to have a clear role in the project. It's not I have no experience, so I will find 2-3 person that have the experience. Me, I have no role for this kind of opportunities. The other can say, okay, you don't play any role, but we can discuss how we can, maybe if you win the project, we give you yes, a percentage of the benefit that we made. So this is something that there are a lot of consideration you have to take into account, but it is very possible. Okay, yes, I think that was the question. Okay, so also in this, before just I go back to Emmanuel, here also what is interesting is they give all the how can I say, phases. They give the duration of each phase. That's why I was saying first, just ask if the deadline is something very flexible. If not, you can find other strategies. As I said, find someone who have more experience, or find more human resources. Also, in terms of the team information, try to put the relevant project. This is something important. The methodology also, make sure that every, how can I say, that the approach you are giving in terms of how to build this platform, or how to do the study, it has also an innovative aspect. For example, you will find many bidders that can build platforms, but a bidder that say, I can build a platform, but also at the same time, I will give you a dashboard or something, I don't know, that will or a document that will give you the calorimetry, meaning all the quality measurements of the codes, saying, for example, if there are technical debt, the percentage, and give to the client saying, okay, in the software development, it is recommended to have a technical debt that is less than 10%, and you, after building this, you have a technical debt on 2% or 3%. This is something very important to give, saying, okay, we all build a platform, but we build it, we try to make it very sustainable, very evolutive. So this kind of indicators can be measured. There are some technical tools, Sonar or any other things. If there are some developers here, you know some tools that can measure the quality code of a platform. So all these innovative ways, you have to highlight it to make difference between other bidders. Okay, I don't know if there are any other question.
Is there anyone on the call that has any question for our facilitator? If you can do that with the raise of your hand. All right, we have a question from Oyedotun Oyeleke. Please go ahead, sir.
Good day, sir. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for the wealth of knowledge that you shared with us today. I really appreciate it. And yeah, having you run through I'm creating a proposal in short period of time, and I personally understanding it is something that I didn't know it was possible. So thank you very much. Now, so the question I have One of the integral points of creating a proposal, depending on the scale of the project, is budgeting, where you would need to include a lot of so for example, if the project is pretty big and you would have maybe like you would have to sublet some part of the project to some other organizations that will be working with you. For example, let's say like you have a pipeline project, or you are bidding for a pipeline project, and you are the consultant that is, developing the project, the whole proposal, as the case may be. But the company that you're working for, they do not have all the equipment, like all the project charter, everything that's required in the project charter. For example, you will have like an NDT company that will be working with you, and they'll come with their own technicians. You have like a supplier and other vendors that will be working with you, and they will be bringing in a lot of resources to the project. Now, when you try to create a proposal which will be sent to the clients for approval, how do you combine the resource needed from all of these other vendors and everything to make sure your project is your deliverable at the end of the day is concise and the breakdown is well articulated, so that it won't get to a point where the client is confused. Okay, who is doing what? When are they coming? Why is this? So that it will be all clear from the onset. I know you've mentioned something to it when you were discussing, but I just wanted to use like a real practical example of probably a project that you've handled, right? So that I can like see how the budgeting part can be well dealt with. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yes, very, very good question. This is something, it is very common. What we do, for example, with Kaikai, recently we submit a proposal with, I think, 3 companies, and each company bring his specificity. For example, Kaikai, we were focused on the project management part and the methodology. We had a company that was focused on the technical training and having all their tools. And we had another company, I think, that was just in terms of data analysis, the main the group. So what we did is we first did an agreement to share the responsibilities of each actor, saying, okay, this is your role, Kaikai, you X company, this is your role, and you, this is your role. And what we did, we tried to have a session together to list all the activities that we need to do this project, and every stakeholder had to review the activities that are related to his activity. So we listed all the activities and we did the estimation, saying, okay, for this part, it will need 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and we did all the estimation. This is the first thing, and after we give the daily rate, and the daily rate gave us, for each actor, for each stakeholder, what is his percentage in terms of budget. You will find, for example, the one that is handling all the training part has more time, and also the expert that is doing this training also is someone who have 20 years of experience. Obviously, he's more expensive than the one with 5 years experience doing data analytics and building the dashboards. And you have to be really also saying, it's not because you are the team leading that all the main time of the proposal will be for you. But what you can do also is, as you are team leading, usually here what they do is the company that is leading the consortium, or the company that is subcontracting the others, may add a percentage. For example, usually it is from 8 to 10% of the global bid, saying, okay, this is only for the administration part, all these things. So if you have this agreement between you at the beginning, you do a session saying, okay, which is the role and responsibilities for each of them, and also list all the activities that each stakeholder will do, estimate the time, and apply the daily rate. And this is, and after, it is very transparent. I give all the partner of the consortium saying, okay, this is the final budget that we have. Are you happy with that? Okay, I'm happy with that, I'm happy with that. And we estimate also all the costs. For example, the one using the tool saying, okay, I will need to buy a subscription in this platform to use this, all these things, we estimate it so that we have this at the end. Maybe me as a team lead, as leader of the consortium, I have only 20%. You have the other that have 30%, but is not leading. But in the 30% of budget is mainly costs. So you have to take into consideration all this part and negotiate also the margin. So in the margin, how you can divide it. Your team leader, will you take 40% and the two others 30%? This is something also you have to clarify at the beginning in your agreement. Roles, how can I say, responsibilities, the daily rate of the expert that will be there, the activities, and also how you will share the margin, so that you have something that you build together, not only me coming from there and have my list of activities, and the other have the list of activities and say, okay, you also go and build your list of activities. The danger of that is you will build a technical or methodology proposal, and the client will see that there's no link between this work package or this milestone and this milestone, because they were built separately. So it is always better to build it use and have time with a strong session when you are together. If you are in a room, all of you, is very good. Otherwise, you can do it online, have a meeting, strong meeting, and so that you are aligned in terms of objective, in terms of strategy, and in terms of approach, so that the activities that you will put will be aligned in the global process, and you won't see something that is not coherent in the document. So you have the option of consortium, but also the consortium meaning each of you have the same role. The option also as you as a bidder, but you engage other subcontractors. And if it is subcontractor, it's very simple. It is, you have to build all the process, all the how can I say, proposal, and they have a small role in terms of market. They have only to execute. They don't have a they are not responsible to the clients. But if it is a consortium, all the three stakeholders are responsible because they all have to sign. But it is subcontractors, it's only you that will sign this. But at any case, you will have to write a good agreement and that lists all the responsibilities for each stakeholder.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Are you okay with the response? Because I could see your hand still raised up.
Yes, as a matter of fact, Mr. Mamadou, you gave a very fantastic explanation to it, and I really understood it. Just a follow-up question to that. So, would you suggest, in light of this answer that you just gave, that it would be very good for a consultant in this case, that like us, that you're training, to be proficient in project management? Because I'm a project manager, and the way you said it, I was just picturing using my MS project to map out all the project estimation, all the baseline and all that, and creating a cost evaluation that like in a waterfall sequence like that. Since you mentioned that all the activities would be something like start to finish in that order, as to achieve the goal at the end of the day. Would it be advisable for a consultant in this case to be very also like proficient in text management skills, right?
Yes, there are a lot of tools that you can do. For example, from our side, when we have proposals, what we do first is we create the activity, not the activities of the project, but the activities to respond to submit our proposals. For example, saying prepare the technical on offer, estimate the project, prepare the agreements with the other stakeholders, collect all the CVs. So all these things, we put it as a project. It will be a project in our project management system. But also what we do in terms of estimation, we use Google Sheets. I give you an example, for example, here, just let me share my screen. This is, for example, a typical Google Sheet I don't know if you see my screen. Yes. So this is a typical Google spreadsheet. What we do is we have all the phases, and each phase, the activity, we repeat. For example, if an activity, for example, kickoff project, if an activity will involve many persons, and each person we will put the name, and we have here the number of days, 0.25, meaning quarter day, so something like that. So we do all this knowing that we have the list of all the stakeholders, all the consultant, and each consultant with his specific daily rate. And at the end, we have this will help us to how can I say, know, for example, what is the global cost in terms of days, and we also add a sheet that estimate all the expenses. Even the insurance that we will need, all, for example, for this project, we needed some visa fees, all these things we have to estimate it. So this is something that you have to take into consideration. And after now, you have your budget. And what is interesting also when we do this process of estimation is it will challenge us if there are, for example, a phase that were not or in approach in a phase, the activities that we were thinking about. When you do the estimation part, as you will have to break it in small activities. So during the estimation phase, we do all that. So at the end of the estimation, we have the budget, but we have also the timeline. We have also for each phase a breakdown activities. So this is something, it takes a lot of time, but it is something very useful in terms of approach. Other companies don't have the same approach. Yes, so it depends really of the type of company. But I always recommend to create a project for responding to the RFP. So, and the role of everyone, and also have a template that you can have. Some use Excel as a Google spreadsheet, other use Odoo. But the things that you master, just the main objective is to make sure you know the phase, you know the daily rate of each consultant, you know the number of days for each activity, so that you have something when you finish the estimation, you have done at least 60% of the work.
So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the session. There are some questions that came up on the chat room.
Okay.
Someone asked a question, said, all right. He said, please, can you share a sample proposal? Then the other one says, thank you for the presentation. Please, is there a limit to the number of pages that a technical proposal should be?
Yeah, that's good. The number of pages, there are some clients that give the limit of the number of pages. This is something that you have, but usually we try to make it not so long. In average, in our proposal, if I see globally, we are on 7 to 8 page maximum. There are some proposals that are longer because they give you a template. There are some clients template, they give you the template saying, okay, the technical proposal, you should fill this, and the financial, you should fill this document. But it is, for example, a proposal that give me, for example, for this one, this example I gave you, this one I want to do, for example, more than 5 pages. I will try to make it as concise as possible. And now, if I have some results of other projects, I add it as annexes. I use a lot of annexes, so that if the person is ready to have more information, I give them the annexes. But if you want the person to read the annexes, you have to make sure you encourage him with the right words, and also, yes, in terms of storytelling, yes, saying, okay, have the good sentences, so that that will make the reader to go to the annexes to have more information. And yes, I did not want to give a sample proposal, but because it depends of the type of, how can I say, clients. There are some clients, as I said, they give you the how can I say, the structure, but this is the common structure. What I can do is maybe for this proposal I give you as an example, give you, for example, what can be in the introduction, what can be in the in terms of methodology, example of approach. Yes, but the main idea was that to give you all the techniques, what should be in the proposal. If it is, you give, for example, in Kaikai, for example, we start all our proposal with a presentation of Kaikai. This is the common things. We present Kaikai first, and we give the context and introduction of the project, what we understood in when we read the RFP. So this is the things, and our how can I say, values, for them, our main approach. So what we do, human-centered, all these things, and after we start with methodology, and in the methodology, the approach, the timeline there. So all these things, this is and it is the same one. So if tomorrow we hire a new person, a new consultant, he will know very well exactly what is the process and what is, and some companies also have different processes. Yes, sorry, Chiaka.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for a wonderful presentation. It is very informative and insightful. So, but I have a question. I would like you to throw more light on writing a compelling narrative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most proposal, that part of the narrative is very key, especially for when someone is applying for grants.
Yes.
Okay, so I would like you to speak to that a little, add more, throw more light. What are the key features that makes a narrative unique or award-winning narrative? Thank you.
Thank you. It is a good question. As you said, I think what is important in this narrative part, as I said, is you need to find the right sentence. If it is a grant, as for example, I give you an example. If it is a grant part, the narrative may be a small story, saying, I don't know, just if it is if it is education, and you have a solution that make a child in Nigeria, in every village, they can have access to content by using how can I say, I don't know, just an amovable USB key that they find there any content. I'm just thinking about loud, any content without internet. And this content can be updated automatically when they have internet, so that they can be updated. So, and your story can start with a statistics or situation. It can be also your story, saying, I don't know, Emmanuel is a 10-year student based in this village. Emmanuel has to walk for 1 hour every day to reach the school, with many challenges. The first challenge is when he arrived, he very tired because of the work. He cannot be how can I say, focused on the lessons, and also how can I say, in terms of time that he have to have with his family, also because of the 1 hour work every day, he's not available. So all these things, and say what value your solution will add to Emmanuel's life, and giving this, having this money will help us to develop our solution that will give the possibility to Emmanuel to have access to all relevant contents in the world without internet, and at the same time he can be at home, no need also to work for hours and hours to reach to school. Yes, this kind of example that you can use as story, it can be yours. As I said, it can be statistics. Statistics may, for example, saying, do you know that 65% of the librarian children don't have access to education? So this is something. So because of lack of internet, lack of infrastructure, our solution. So if you want to give a proposal for a grant, for example, for Bill and Melinda Gates that give funds for this kind of initiative. This is something that you can put at the beginning, just to have the attention of your reader. So this is what I say narrative, is you make sure that you give the statement, you know the problem that you want to solve and the benefit that your solution will provide. And after you will, this is a pyramid, the recommendation, the support, and after the data, all the data that give you that give the legitimacy of your product. Sorry, I am thinking about solution at the same time, brainstorming, but that is the approach you can use in terms of narrative. Give some story that you have for your own experience, but also something you observed, or some statistics, or some studies that you have seen.
Thank you so much.
I think there's a last question here, but I think you've spoken to it. He said, can you share the samples of things to look for in a project versus your template that gives you a go ahead to design a proposal that can win a bid? That's the last question we have in the chat room.
Okay, let me
Okay, there are some other ones. Okay, I'm coming. One said, if you apply for NYIF, it is stated to make just a 5-page document. All right.
Yeah, it is the common number of pages, 5, 6. This is the common. If it is more than 5, it's long. If it's less, you cannot have the time to explain and give deeper explanation of your proposal. Yes, 5 is fine, and also it depends of the part of the. This is something important here. So, for example, if they say you don't do more than 5 pages, and you make the policy of the text very small just to reach 5 pages, is not the right solution. I saw some proposal like that. So, for example, the person just say, okay, let me do this, and just reduce, saying, okay. So this is not the right way to do things. It is, the common thing is 11, sometimes 10. 10 to 11. This is yes. There are some clients that say 12, but the common is 11.
All right. I think that's all we have in our chat room. Is there anyone with any other question before we round it up? Any other question? All right. If there's no other question, I'll be welcoming our program manager. This is Abisola. She will be rounding up and giving the vote of thanks, the appreciation. So, Mrs. Abisola, are you on the call?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Thank you very much, Abimbola. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Wow, that was a very, 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 very fantastic presentation. I am wowed. Thank you so much. So it's my pleasure to express our deepest gratitude to Mr. Mamadou. I'm giving you a standing ovation from where I am here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You've shared your time, knowledge, and expertise with us today, and we are really, really thrilled. Your presentation was not just insightful, but also thought-provoking, and you've given us valuable takeaways that we can apply in our respective fields. I've learned a whole lot today, from structuring the proposals, proofreading, editing, your pricing strategies, submitting proposals. Everything has been so fantastic. And you've given me an avenue to now go back and sit down, like I'm even expecting a masterclass from you. Thank you so much for this. And your ability to break down all the complex ideas into clear, actionable steps were very, very remarkable. And we appreciate your relevance of examples that you've brought. It made the topic come to life, and I'm sure it resonates with everyone here. I really thank all the audience, everyone online today, especially to Chiaka, Samuel, Oyedoto, your questions, your submissions were also very noted. Thank you very much for all of that. So on behalf of the founder of EDFRICA, Dr. Emmanuel Odumusi, our organizing team, all members of staff, all consultants here, and our institutions and the audience, we thank you for your dedication and for enriching our understanding. And we hope this marks the beginning of further collaborations and engagements. Thank you so much, Mr. Mamadou.
Thank you. Thank you. And I am available on the social media, LinkedIn, Twitter. I will just let my my identify LinkedIn, so you can find me on LinkedIn, and my email address, so that if you have any question.
Yeah, please share it in the comment section.
Yes, I shared my email address, and let me share my LinkedIn, and it's fine.
All right, thank you so much to all our participants. We really appreciate your time too, and would love to get your feedback via the post-webinar survey form that we just attached the link. I pinned it on in the chat room, learning.edfrica.org/feedback. We would love to get your feedback on this training and subsequent things you really want us to get done for you. We appreciate your time, Mr. Mamadou. We appreciate you. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you, all the participants. Thank you, as Abisola has said. We really appreciate your time. Please do well to fill the feedback form. And for as many of our consultants that are yet to onboard on our consultant platform, there's a place, there's a link where you could register so that we can properly onboard you. You can do that on register.edfrica.org/sign up. Once you do that, you get your details, then we will do the proper onboarding. Thank you so much. Samuel Oluwasegun, we see your hand raised up.
Yes, please. I have a question. I wanted to make it a private, but unfortunately, I was not being given the opportunity. So let me make it public. I want to ask if one can be a consultant in two different areas of specializations. Like for myself now, I'm very good with media, and I'm also good with technology. I mean ICT. So how do I fill my form to give me the opportunity in those two fields?
Okay, the question to Mr. Mamadou, right?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was talking about his EDFRICA. Sorry, go again, please. I was focused on sharing again my presentation. What you said, please? Sorry.
No, the question is for EDFRICA, not you, sir.
Okay.
They say we can fill a form to be a consultant. So I was now trying to ask if we can do more than one thing, like we can consult for more than one thing. That's what I'm trying to officially ask for.
Yes, on the form, there is a section we indicated additional information you want us to know about you. So that section, you could do that, such that once there's a need, we will know where we will fix you in the category. You give all the details that you have. We will do the other work from our hand to get that sorted. Is that clear?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I like that. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to our CEO, Dr. Emmanuel Udumusi, for this opportunity. And thank you for everything. Thank you, everyone, for making it a date. Mr. Mamadou, we hope when we call you another time, you'll be available to attend to us. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Then we'll call it a day from here. We appreciate everyone.
Merci beaucoup. À la prochaine.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup, sir.